because I saw it in a John Sandman video when he was showing us how to do it on phone.
Just flip the back, right? And then click on it. And then you can scroll down, swipe up. So you go here and then you can rip the pack from the middle or the top or you just do this with your fingers.
And I didn't even really believe it at first because I kind of saw, and I thought he was just talking about where you flip the pack over and just open it backwards like normal. I didn't know you could even do this.
course it's not the filter. Not the thing that it is 90% of the time. And I can fix pretty fucking easily. Doing it for this long before? Or did it screw up before now?
Like, you mean today? Or does... No,
Yeah.
it was fine yesterday.
I mean today, when it started doing this thing.
Yeah, that's today. But
No, I mean... Did it do this for this long before it just screwed up?
No.
Okay. Can I change the damn setting?
I don't... Like, the tip or just...
Never mind. I'm not upset with you.
Okay, well, I gotta know what setting. I think you just press the power button and it would start the... Yeah. This once. Just this once. Hold up. Just once. Maybe it might stop watching. There's a big storm literally coming in a few minutes. It's looking real gray outside. The storm was supposed to start around 5 and it's 5:05. I think Emmie will put the time. But basically the storm is coming very, very soon. We gotta fucking dump this. I don't know how grateful close I am to getting rained on. There were so many gray clouds. Oh, just to prove how much more darker it's getting by the literal minute. Oh, come on. Come on. And there's no spoon. Y'all, it's lightning. There's a stick. Oh my god. I can't tell what I'm doing. I'm sticking the damn thing. Oh, please. Oh. Oh my god. You can tell how dark it's getting? It's actually getting so dark. No rain on though. Oh my god! Explain a few things that have been happening to Doc lately over the course of these few days. If y'all don't know, Doc had her wrist surgery August 10th. Kind of briefly explained it, but we didn't fully go in depth about it, and there's not really much to go depth about it. Basically, she gets this wrist surgery. Used to be every 4 months since September 7th, 2021 due to wrist contractures. Since June 2025, I want to say, it's been moved up to every 6 months. The wrist surgery itself is basically just injecting 5 Botox injections into her arms, 100 units, and stretching. It counts as a surgery because she still gets Back then, she got sedated, intubated, was in the OR, and would be admitted for like a night. But the new change for this August 10th wrist surgery was basically that she wouldn't be intubated anymore. She would only be lightly intravenously sedated. She would still need to go to the OR and still be admitted for a night. All went well. There was no IV antibiotics, and it was just a planned admission. So she stayed for a total 29 hours from 6 a.m. August 10th to 11 a.m. August 11th. And she did really well. The wrist surgery was a success. And August 17th, she just had all her home care stuff, so blood draws, tracheotomy tube change, which, fun fact, for this trach exchange, August 17th, marked her 104th trach change. So 104 trach changes since getting her tracheostomy tube, which is insane. That means about 4-ish months ago she hit her 100th trach change. That's insane. Then we had another admission day, and if you remember all in the old updates that we had given, I want to say a few weekly vlogs ago, we were talking about a big thing, that being Doc's GJ PEG feeding tube. For some context, Doc has been having a G button style tube, so it was kind of concealed, very easy to hide since 1987. And then she got her first PEG June 20th, 2025. Because she has gastroparesis, we were wanting to find a more comfortable way to sustain it longer and to avoid her gastroparesis completely, so we decided to opt for a GJ PEG feeding tube. So a gastric jejunum feeding tube. So August 18th was the procedure and admission date. And at 7:30 a.m., the procedure for the GJ feeding tube officially started, and she did receive very light sedation. So she wasn't intubated, but because this is usually procedure, and we didn't really want her to feel pain during the swap and everything, making sure everything was good, she did get light IV sedation, which was Precadex. It's basically just a IV sedation that won't affect or / compromise her breathing. 7:50 a.m. the procedure was fully done, so it took about 20 minutes to place and make sure it was in the right spot. Also, if you haven't noticed this entire video, Doc's nasal feeding tube is gone. She had like 3 or 4 doses of low IV dose fentanyl, so to keep her pain under control. It wasn't a lot of pain, but we just wanted to keep her comfortable. Alongside that, we wanted to talk about Doc's schedule and everything. So basically, Doc's schedule has changed quite a bit. So these are screenshots of her old schedule. And those were her old feeding times back then. So this is her new feeding schedule times. If you notice throughout those whole entire screenshots, you can see a orange and green labeling system. So a little orangish cap with a J on it. It stands for jejunum. The G stands for gastric, and BAL is simply for the balloon that gets inflated to keep the tube in place. Basically, if you see the little orange labeling beside any meds or feed, that goes through her J port. Any meds / feeds with the green dot around it goes through the gastric port. And most of her meds do need to go in the gastric port, which we kind of thought a little differently of a little while before her GJ feeding tube, like GJ PEG feeding tube. We realized that, oh well, most of her meds do need to have gastric content to actually work and be absorbed. You might notice the Zenpep is also different. So basically, she got 12 Zenpeps a day on her old feeding schedule. So 3 out of 4 of her meals that day would require 4 Zenpep, which would total 12 a day. She's 95 pounds, and then for her last overnight feed, she would get a Relazone cartridge. Now, with this new schedule, her very first feed of the day only gets 2 Zenpep pills. Second feed gets 2 Zenpep pills. I believe her third feed gets 4. Then the other feeds get to 2, and then the last overnight very small trickle of feed gets 2 Zenpep as well to be absorbed. We also wanted to talk about another planned admission that she would be having August 27th. Basically, Doc's having a 7-day admission again August 27th. She should be home September 3rd. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.